to my temporary classroom. Today, we're going to continue our work with addition and subtraction using tape diagrams to solve. Before we get started, I would suggest that you grab a pen and a paper so that you can work independently at your house. Now today, we're going to do a little bit of a different order than what we usually do in the classroom. Usually we do our application problem, fluency, and then go into stations and independent work, but today we're going to start with fluency. We're going to start with happy counting by 10. So when I put my thumb up, we're going to count up by 10. If I go down, count down by 10. And if I stop right here in the middle, that just means pause for a second. We're going to try to make it all the way up to 100. Let's get started. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, and 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Perfect job. Now go ahead and grab that pen and paper so we can get started. I'm going to read the problem first. I'll read it a second time so that you guys can pick up the information, and then I would have you pause the video so that you can work independently on your piece of paper or your notebook. Here's the problem. Elena wrote 8 letters to her friends. Her goal is to write 12 letters. How many more letters does she need to write to meet her goal? Solve using a tape diagram. I'm going to read one more time so that you guys can listen to the important information. Elena wrote 8 letters to her friends. Her goal is to write 12 total letters to her friends. How many more letters does she need to write to meet her goal? Solve using a tape diagram. So, we've read the problem twice. What kind of number sentence, or do you think it's addition, subtraction? You let me know. And we know our total is 12. Elena needs to get to 12 total letters, and she has already written 8. So are you taking the letters away, or are you adding the letters? We have to think of that in our head. Go ahead and pause your video for about 3 minutes, and then press play, and then we'll go ahead and solve on the chalkboard. Okay, so now that you've had your independent work time, let's go ahead and solve our problem. So the answer, they want us to find the answer using a tape diagram. So what we know, we're going to make our tape diagram. And we know that she has already written 8 letters. So let's go ahead and draw 8 little circles. And then we don't know how many more she needs to get to 12. So let's go ahead and put our little question mark there. And then remember, you label the total problem with how many we want to get. And she wants to get to 12. Now, you could write this one of 2 ways. You could do an addition problem, which would look something like 8 plus a mystery box equals 12. And you could just count on from 8, get yourself to a 10, and then go from 10 to 12. You could do it that way. Or you could also do a subtraction problem, which in that case you would take the large number, the 12, minus what you already have, which is 8, and that would equal your mystery box. So let's go ahead, let's solve using the addition sentence first. So we already have 8. We need how many more to get to 10? We need 2. And then from 10 to 12 is another 2. So we know 2 plus 2 equals 4. So let's go ahead and double check our math. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we know 12 minus 8, if you want to work in reverse, you could go 12 and get yourself down to your 10, which would be 2. And then if you go from 10 to 8, which is another 2, and that's 4. So we've double checked our work twice now. So our solution would be Elena needs to write 4 more just a quick little review of what our normal tape diagram would look like. Today, we're going to work on comparing two different numbers. So, let me go ahead and read, again with your pen and paper or your pencil and paper, let me go ahead and read this problem once, then I'm going to read again and we'll pick up the important information. It rained 15 days in March. It rained 19 days in April. How many more days did it rain in April than in March? Let me read it one more time and then we'll work together. It rained 15 days in March. It rained 19 days in April. How many more days did it rain in April than in March? So, for this problem, let me go ahead and section off my board here so we don't get confused. So, we know that it rained, so to do a double comparison, one for March, we would just do our little tape diagram here and write 15, and then we can put a little M for March. And then for April, you could do you write your 15 again, and then a little question mark. Well, we know it rained a total of 19 days that month. So then from there, we could go ahead and write our subtraction problem, or an addition, I guess. So from here, you could do 19 minus 15 equals a mystery box. Or you could also do, if you wanted, you could do 15 plus a mystery box equals 19. So let's go ahead and start with the addition, and let's go ahead and we can count up. So we know that in the ones place there's a 9, and then in our other ones place that there's a 5. So if you go ahead and ask yourself 5 plus what number gets you 9, which would be 4. So let's go ahead and double check our math. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that is our number, is 4. And you could also do it in reverse. If you did 9 minus 5, you could go backwards. So you could go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, which would land you down there to your 15. So our solution sentence for that will be, it rained 4 more days in April than in March. So that concludes our group work today. I'm going to have some independent work problems for you guys to try at home, and you can stay tuned for my next video when we work through the problems together. So, your first problem is, Fran donated 11 books to the library. Danny donated 8 books to the library. How many more books did Fran donate than Danny? You're going to solve using your tape diagram method. Your next problem. During recess, 7 students were reading books. There were 17 total students playing on the playground. How many fewer students were reading books than playing on the playground? And your last problem. Shelley did 14 cartwheels during recess. Kim did 20 cartwheels. How many more cartwheels did Kim do than Shelley? Now I'm going to try to put these problems in the comments section on the YouTube video, so that way you guys can see it visually. But if not, maybe go ahead and pause in between each of these so that you guys can hear what the problem is. I can't wait to see you guys at the Zoom meeting. Bye!